Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you guys are doing good. This is me Abu Bakr Dilawar. I welcome you all to our latest episode of Founders Kahani. So as you all know that in Founders Kahani we always invite inspiring founders from all over the world so you can get your inspiration and start your entrepreneurial idea. So today I arranged this podcast after a little difficulty, but we are here with in after you guys so we can provide you best knowledge from the best people in the world. So today we have a very amazing guest with us. Please welcome Jerenj Virco. He is the CEO and co-founder of Palmatrix. How are you, Jerenj?
I'm great. Thank you, Abu Bakar. It's nice to be here, and thank you for having me and inviting me.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. So, this is Founders Kahani, and Kahani means story in Urdu. So, if we talk about what's the Kahani of Jerenj is.
Uh, so my story, you would like to hear, right?
Yeah.
Um, well, my story regarding the business part that I do started in me going to study information technology and computer science in Ljubljana, Slovenia. This is when I moved from my hometown, Krško, which is a small town near Croatian border, so Slovenia and Croatia. It's ex-Yugoslavian countries. And I moved to Ljubljana to study computer science, as I mentioned. And in that faculty for information technology, I stumbled upon an interesting project, and they were looking for somebody to help develop, engineer, and it was insurance technology, insurtech, so called. That was in 2008, something like that, 2007, 2008. And we were developing, I started helping developing a test environment for fraud detection system for insurance companies. So this is how I started with startup world. And software development, of course, was my already well-established feature, if I may say so. I started in 2000 studying the computer science. And I was it was so great for me. I loved it so much, this startup, that I just kept on doing startups. Since then, I established probably around 20 startups, out of which 3 were successful and the rest of them were not successful. So lots of experiences there. But this is how it is with startups. And I helped and advised many different projects in the startup space. And in 2016, I turned towards crypto. And in 2017, I co-founded the Palmatrix project, the startup, where we help financial institutions getting onboarded to crypto space, crypto markets, etc. That would
Okay.
be in short my kahani.
That's really nice, Kani. So it gives me a little hope because I failed my first startup recently. I just graduated from my
Mm-hmm.
university and I was so much demotivated that oh I fucked up in a startup. So like it's a ratio that you started 20 startups and only three got successful. So it's a huge like difference ratio. So what type of advice
Yeah.
you want to give to people like me who are like at very young early at their career and early in their life and starting doing startups? And startup culture, it's a very difficult thing to do. It's like 100 times
Mm-hmm.
difficult than a job. So what advice do you want to give to those people who got demotivated due to the due to the recession and due to the fail of their startups?
I would say um, people will call you crazy, will call you you're out of your mind, and whatever you will be researching statistically, it will show you are wrong. Okay, but this means that you are on the exactly right path, because if somebody else would be doing your path, then it would be able to statistically assess it, but it's impossible to assess something unique statistically. If you're out of the box, if nobody understands how you can do it, then you're on the right path.
Yeah, exactly. So you were talking about the crypto market, that you've been into this industry from quite a long time. So how do you see the trends going on in the near future in the terms of crypto and blockchain industry? Uh,
Uh, well, we I would question myself two different parts of development of crypto industry, right? One is um, one is regulatory aspect, okay, that I would like to assess here. And why I'm going to assess the regulatory part is because this means that the masses will be able to start investing in crypto, using blockchain in several other projects, etc., etc. So we need to come up with a certain regulatory aspect of how to regulate decentralized concepts, not just crypto, but decentralized concepts. As you might know, the struggle of regulating decentralized concepts started way before crypto started, way before Bitcoin. And I guess you know I'm talking about torrent
yeah,
communities, torrent technologies. We are using, I mean, I'm using torrent technology since the year 2000 when we started exchanging movies in this through this technology. And still today, there are many cases on court trying to sue the Pirate Bay that you probably know, and others that are supporting the torrent communities. But it's just impossible to win such a case, right? Because it's so unique, and the foundations of today's system, regulatory system, uh, designed from a central power point of view. So that's why it's impossible to regulate a decentralized community, a decentralized technology, etc., etc. So this is one thing we will need to see happening in order to achieve mass adoption of decentralized technologies, where blockchain and crypto comes in, of course. And the other aspect I will dare to touch is, of course, regarding the investment part, and because this is my everyday job today, the investment part of cryptocurrencies and tokens and the mainly I will talk about Bitcoin, and for the record, this is 7 years. So it's, you know, when
can you please check your internet? Like there is a lot of distortion
when
in your video and voice.
people ask me what should I do when entering crypto investment. Okay, let me check it. To me,
Yeah, it's better now. Now the video is good.
it's better.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, let's try again. So the second assessment is through the eyes of the investments and how the value of the crypto industry and mainly Bitcoin will develop. As you know, Bitcoin is still having 70% of the market cap, and important thing here is you have to understand how Bitcoin halving is working. Okay. So if you're a starter, if you're already investing, you have to know that there are cycles. The cycles are not just in crypto industry. The cycles are also in the traditional investment space. However, in Bitcoin, it is very hard defined when the next cycle is gonna happen, and it's defined by the next halving.
Yeah.
And halving, what happens is that the price that the miner gets if he mines the next block in the Bitcoin blockchain gets halved. So it was 3.125 now, and in April next year it's gonna be half of that. So it's gonna be 1.57 something. If I hope I didn't give the wrong information, but you can check it on the internet. So when this happens, the ratio of demand and producing the Bitcoin is changed, and this reflects then the happenings. So because approximately half of the miners stop mining because it's not profitable for them anymore. This is what's happening behind, but let's keep that for maybe some other time to delve maybe more deep into it. But what I wanted to say is this is the backbone of the whole crypto industry developing and having the cycles. So the last halving was in 2021, just before the peak when Bitcoin reached $70,000. And the next Bitcoin halving is coming in April 2024. And the rest, how this is reflecting other cryptocurrencies, I will leave to the audience to, let's say, Google it themselves, or maybe ping me for a chat or one-on-one, or maybe for the end
Yeah,
of
exactly.
today's
Exactly. So
meetup.
speaking of the questions, we have a Q&A session at the last, but someone just texted me to ask you something, and I think this is
Yeah.
really worthy to ask. Someone is saying that he launched his own crypto token that's not based on Ethereum. So what's the best way to market it?
Well, every launch of every, let's say, startup, okay, and the launching of token is actually it's a bit different when it comes to where you're gonna find your audience, okay. But in sense of so technically speaking, it's the same. Every launch has to have first, what I would say is the core community. You have to build your core community because they can, when somebody wants to, let's say, destroy you, affect in any bad way your project, the core community will be defending you. Now, sometimes in traditional projects, this is your team, basic team, your core team, right? But when you're building a decentralized, I suspect this is a decentralized token, right?
Yeah, it's a
Um,
decentralized token.
yeah. Okay. Then you will be talking about your core community. So you have to find your believers that strongly believe on the level that you are believing what you are launching, right? So how you're gonna do this? Of course, you have to explain what you have done. This is why we are writing white papers, right? So the white paper is the crucial thing in building your core community and launching your token. This is maybe for some, this is like a good day, but for many, I believe this will help understand better how to step on the path of launching a token. Of course, it's also important next is to convince even broader audience that what you have built is truly something remarkable, and that is very difficult to prove that it has a value or it solves a real time problem.
Yeah.
So, because believing in something is way much different than seeing that this solution has a real world effect. Now, when you're through that two phases, then you will of course be on the fast track.
Yeah, exactly. So, in one of our previous podcasts, we featured Anton Golbu, and he was telling us about the Swiss DOS, I think Swiss Acid Dio, that you are also
Mm-hmm.
the founding member of it. So, can you please tell us
Mm-hmm.
some amazing things about this project of yours?
Okay. Yes. First, I would like to say that I admire Anton for his work. He's also somebody that I look upon. He's very experienced in the crypto space, and he was born in Zagreb, which is 30 kilometers away from where I was born. So he was born in Croatia. I was born in Slovenia. So we kind of quickly found each other through common partners, and he was the one that came up with the idea of Swiss as a DAO. And as soon as I noticed that, I started following that idea. Now you remember in your previous question you were talking about first you have to find believers. Now founding members of Swiss as a DAO, we are believers. Okay, so what do we believe in? What Anton was signaling and notifying everybody, not just his friends, but the whole crypto community, was real world assets.
Yeah.
Okay, RWA, and RWA is something that we believe is going to be bringing lots of liquidity into the crypto space in the future. And world assets is actually nothing else but a real world asset brought into the crypto space through tokenization. Swiss law did a great step in real world assets because there were many tries in the history of crypto space. I don't know if you know about Gupta's platform for tokenization of unique music instruments. One of the founding members of Ethereum did that. And of course, you on one hand you have a physical item. On the other hand, you want to have a token that represents that physical item. So this space between it was developing for several years, and Switzerland was, I believe, the first one that did an effective regulatory framework that supports that. And when they did that, all of a sudden, billions started getting as a liquidity into the crypto space. We are talking about tokenizing bonds, state bonds. We are talking about tokenizing real estate. We are talking about tokenizing certain share of the company. So Switzerland, for example, has already for 3 years in their regulatory framework that anybody can tokenize up to 20% of their company. Right? This is in law, in Swiss law, is established. So I'm trying to say that there is a space, there is a nation in the world that is looking very into the future and is enabling to develop and to regulate and with regulation make accessible traditional financial instruments and other benefits that a country can provide for a startup, for example, right? So all this is what Swiss Asset DAO is built for.
Yeah.
We would like to further help and further develop the regulatory framework that will help decentralized concepts, decentralized organizations further develop more liquidity into the space. And DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, to be able to access traditional help, if I may say so, that let's say financial institutions or some funds or some government organizational structures can provide.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, if we talk about your startup, Palmatrix, you provide financial education to a lot of people, and you provide a platform where people can give and take financial education. So in the last few years, there is a lot of work happened in the fintech space. So what, according to you, what else we should expect in the terms of fintech? Uh, yeah, I think your video got stuck. Are you back?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can hear you now very well.
yeah. So I was saying that if we talk about like Palmarix, that you provide
Mhm.
platform for the financial education, you provide a platform where people can give and take the financial education. And in last years, there is a lot of things happened in the terms of fintech. So according to you, you interact with all these financial educators and financial institutes. What should we expect next in the terms of fintech?
Yeah. Um, First, I would like to say, describe a little bit broader Palmatrix and what is our vision there, okay? Because this is actually what we are expecting will happen in the fintech space. Um, so we have a traditional financial space, okay, that is very well established and very well developed, and there are a lot of fintechs that are helping making it better, so to say, okay. And 2010, I started developing a new financial industry started developing. Okay, this is what I believe is the best way to think about it. Okay, so this traditional industry, as it is developing. As it is developing, there are no significant changes in the last couple of years. So the crypto industry is actually emerging as a new industry. A new financial industry is emerging right next to the traditional one. So traditional one being, I don't know how many billions big, trillions actually, pardon. The crypto industry is now at, I think, a couple of trillions, billions. I didn't check, but you can check it out. Just write crypto market cap in Google. And now this industry became so big that they wanted to get some features from the traditional financial industry. Okay, loans, venture capital. Okay, this is from traditional financial space.
Yeah.
It's happening since the beginning, but more and more is happening, and so more regulation has to be established. Right now, be able to achieve this, and also to get more people being able to access crypto industry, which is a developing industry in parallel with traditional one, as I already mentioned. We need, not just we, many fintechs are now focusing on bridging the new crypto financial industry and the traditional financial industry. So the bridges are being built, and Palmatrix is nothing more than another bridge like that. we are, as you mentioned, we are focusing on education. Why? Because if somebody doesn't understand something, you cannot sell something to him.
Yeah.
First, you have to educate. Okay? So maybe if I return to the question, how to start a tokenization project, education is also very crucial there, just to mention. So first, we need to educate people. It's for some, it's hard to understand decentralized concepts because it's not just a decentralized concept. It's decentralized concept. It's fintech. It's finance. You know, these three terms for many people are hard to understand. So you're gonna have a lot of focus on education because of that. And of course, we are also focusing on enabling their financial institutions tools to be able to access crypto space, or even to get a new tool, the financial institutions to be able to do asset management, to be able to open their own exchange. So these are the first things that financial institutions think about. How to access crypto, this is what it's needed. And now this is the crucial thing. Because the regulation is falling behind, decentralized concepts are not yet regulated. That is why now centralized solutions thriving. So centralized solutions to access crypto space are thriving because this is the only thing that financial institutions are allowed to use.
Yeah.
Centralized solutions, they're not allowed to use because it's not regulated yet. However, that may change in the next 2-3 years. So this is why we have a strategy. Okay, let's build a centralized solutions, and we already are selling these centralized solutions. Several brokerage houses are using that globally, our solution. But in our laboratory, we are already developing decentralized solutions for the same thing. In 2-3 years, when the regulation will step in, our clients will want to have decentralized solution. We are sure about that. As soon as they will understand the decentralized solution, they will want to have it because they will see that simply it's better, it's more efficient, it's cheaper. Okay, maybe some parts today are not better than centralized solution, but in the future that will change.
Yeah.
You know, if we go back into the year 2000, I don't know if you remember or if you were already that big, that old. We had internet. I was having a modem. I was like beeping in some number, then the sound came. Then I had all of a sudden internet of 128 kilobytes. Okay, so this is how it started. Of course, at that time, the internet was not efficient. Nobody was using it. Only me and a couple of, for the most of the people, stupid guys, a little bit crazy guys, they were using internet. They're crazy, you know. But then in 10 years, when it got faster, it got more use, telcos started offering internet. Then all of a sudden, everybody started using internet.
Yeah.
Similar thing is now happening with cryptocurrencies and the fintechs in the space.
Yeah. I born in 2000, by the way.
Okay. So you don't remember.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Jerenj, for coming to Founders Kahani. Today we come to the end of this podcast. It takes some challenges to record this podcast today, but finally we did it. So I'm also part of Gen Z. So Gen Z always finds some fun part in every serious aspect. So this is a very serious interview, but now I have a very fun question for you. If we give you a chance to invite three people on your
Okay.
dinner table, alive or dead, who will that be?
There are many people that I would like to have on my dinner table.
But you
Okay.
have only 3 seats.
Yeah, I know. Well, I would like to have Satoshi Nakamoto, definitely.
Okay.
So the founder of Bitcoin, right? Then somebody from the music industry, definitely. But who would that be? It's hard to decide. Um,
Maybe
but
Taylor Swift.
definitely Beethoven, for example. I would definitely like to have Beethoven at my dinner table. Maybe I would come up with somebody even better. But although I don't know how he would be fun, because in the end, I think he was blind, or even no, not blind, even deaf. I think he was, and still he was producing the last piece of music of art that he did. And the third would be maybe I don't know, Nelson Mandela, maybe,
Okay, okay.
or um, let's put it this way: Nelson Mandela should do.
Good question. Good thinking. I loved your choices, man. You are one of the few people who didn't say Elon Musk in the answer of this question.
Ah, really? Oh,
Yeah.
I know too much about Elon Musk already.
Yeah, even I do with the Americans, with the Arabi people, with the Indians. They all the Elon Musk is the must thing in every one's answer.
I haven't even thought about it,
Yeah.
but
Thank you so much, Yerne, for coming to
okay.
Founders Kahani today. And thank you so much, guys, for listening to Founders Kahani today. I hope you get a lot of insight from the Yerne's Kahani today. I hope you get a lot of benefits from from this conversation. So stay tuned with us. See you next time. Allah Hafiz.